Okay, guys, we're almost ready here. Nost, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
All right, let's do this thing then. Here we are. What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing today? Sorry for the lack of finely tuned setup and everything. We just wanted to be able to talk to you guys today for a little bit. Nost, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Nostalgic. I was a variety partnered mixer streamer. I was partnered in the fall of 2018, and I had left the platform due to foreseeing things like this fallout. And I left the platform about September of 2019. So I was partnered for just a little under a year before coming back over to Twitch. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm VerticalSign75, partnered on Twitch, run Casual Nexus Stream Team, the logo you see above head here. Partnered on Mixer as well, so I had recently been partnered on Mixer and had met a fair amount of the community there. So when I saw this today, I knew something was up anyway, but wanted to still address it to the community when I saw it, because I didn't think it was going to be this fast or this extreme of what it was going to be. So still wanted to take the time to talk to everyone, leave it open for Q&A as well. And Nost and I have talked a lot off our streams and everything about all of the things going on with streaming across all platforms. So wanted to have a discussion back and forth on what that looked like, our thoughts, because I know we agree on a lot of things, disagree on a few things, and have a nice discussion around it.
Yeah. I mean, this past 3 days has been
a windfall in the streaming community.
Just
like,
it's just weird, man. It's just a really weird time. And, you know, maybe it's good. You know, the way I look at it is I see all good out of this in a way. I think our eyes have been open to some racism issues, sexism issues, sexual harassment issues,
even extending all the way to abuse and everything. Like, it's been pretty wild.
And so you're seeing something bad fall, but that's what markets do, right? Markets determine whether or not things succeed. And the market, in my opinion, dictated that Mixer wasn't going to succeed, and they saw that. Let me rephrase: Xbox saw that, and decided to make the move to start this up. And that's the thing too. I don't think people realize this has been going on for a while. This has been probably been being worked out since January at the earliest.
Right. Well, my whole thing too is I know a lot of people went to Mixer for the more intimate feel to it and everything, because Twitch is a very large platform, and I think a lot of people are taking it very personally and forgetting the other aspect that at the end of the day, it's a business.
It's just business.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that that's hard, and I think, I talk about this a lot, because I mean, I even struggle with it. When your brand... Sorry, everybody, I'm fighting the yawns. When your brand hits you, or it involves so much of you, it can really hurt when something like this happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there probably losing their minds.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong when I'm saying it's just business at the end of the day. I mean, there's still a level of empathy for the fact that there's a lot of people that rely on this as well, that are very personally affected, that a lot of them don't want to go to Facebook. And I know that that's where the move is happening. I know some of them have already started transition to Twitch. It's a wild world. So
I mean, yeah, it's there's people that were both like contractors to Mixer. I was speaking to Personality, who was one of the partner account managers right before the stream, and I was like, so are they just going to move you over to Xbox? Like, I was just assuming, that since he was one of the good ones, that he would, have an opportunity within the Microsoft world. Nope. That is not the case at all. He was actually a contractor. So
Oh wow.
he's done, and he's screwed. And he both streamed on Mixer as a side income and was a partner account manager.
So that was his main
So-
job as well, and
And
wow.
his side gig, So like for him, it's like a really big deal. So it's
So he lost all of it.
everything. Yeah.
That's
sucks.
wild.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, but like I said, I'm trying to look at this as like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I hope that Twitch sees the ire and anger that was kind of brooding in the Mixer community even before the Mixer announcement, and then the even stronger anger that they're feeling now, and really kind of like, this is an opportunity for Twitch, in my opinion, to kind of step forward and lead appropriately instead of just lead by default.
Yeah. So do you
You
think
know.
Twitch is going to take action at all? Because I know they have not addressed the whole sexism piece of it.
They put out a statement, right? And that was actually, it was really pathetic because they put out the statement and people were excited that they even made a statement, and like Mixer had done nothing. So like they made him a statement, so I guess it's better than nothing, but I don't want to get too much into like controversy or
Yeah.
even stuff like that, but there's some like real controversy about Twitch as a company and their culture.
Right.
It's you don't have a bunch of people report the idea of there being like sex meeting rooms in a company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
and then if that kind of culture is existing in an office setting, just imagine how much that could bleed into who's getting promotions and who's getting
Well, I
getting-
was bringing it up that in the 80s, I think it was 1984, was when it really surfaced heavily in like management world. This same thing happened because females were really starting to get jobs in higher management and everything, and this whole thing surfaced. And then it was the early to mid 2000s, same thing happened in Hollywood. And it was said to me 2 years ago by someone that runs a affiliate program, that runs third-party sponsorship stuff, things like that. They said Twitch is the Wild West. So I really got to thinking about it, that in the past year to 2 years, we're starting to see a lot of mainstream stuff. COVID really catapulted that because we're now getting a lot of brands stepping in, everything. So it's becoming a normal thing now. So everything is surfacing because it's normalizing the business. Like these things all had to happen at some point.
Yeah, and it sucks, but I just, when you add that stuff in, Mixer in, just the idea of Facebook, YouTube, kind of like, because you have Twitch DMCA stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
YouTube
And I mean,
has a strong DMCA presence.
but those laws still haven't even been updated since 84. And then in the 90s, when
Right.
people were doing sampling stuff, like that was the last updates that were ever done to any of that.
Yep. And that needs, that's a big thing too. I mean, Twitch has an option, it's there. But I don't know, man. I'm like, and it's funny because like my energy level today has just been so low because it was just so taxing reading all of these women's stories, and then reading Billy's story about Mixer, and then within 16 hours of that story coming to light, Mixer announcing that they're shutting down.
Yeah. And
It's just a lot to take in, man.
that was a lot. And then that's not to mention the fact that like we're looking at in the US, what is it, 19 states still looking at potential closing for COVID again, and I mean this is all coming up just recently. It's wild. But it was bound to happen because there hasn't been a major streaming platform that has really went under, other than a few of these medium-sized, small size that's really happened to. It was bound to happen to someone soon enough.
Yeah, dude, DLive outlasted Mixer.
That's crazy. Because isn't PewDiePie back off the platform too?
Yeah. And Caffeine outlasted Mixer. I mean, like, these are two, hopefully not, this is not a career ending statement, but two just turds of platforms. I mean, they're poop.
Yeah.
And Mixer didn't make it through.
I mean, DLive keeps changing their blockchain stuff as well. I do like the idea of how they're doing their currency setup. It's nice to have something like that in the industry, but their marketing, their platform, it needs some love if it's ever going to make it anywhere. Caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I really feel like the reason that this all kind of happened the way it played out is I actually think that Mixer screwed up with the way that they monetized Sparks, and then they demonetized Sparks. And I really think that if they had just made it so that there was like a big time player having a free currency that people could use to support somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then capped it hard at the week so that like basically like every partner was guaranteed, let's say $200 a month. Like nothing big, but like $50 a week or something along those lines.
Actually, that's a huge thing that you bring up because that's something that a lot of industry people are talking about right now is the fact that there's not anything there to give a stable income that you can report to like a bank or anything to make this a legitimate business to where you can get loans and things like that. And the moment we break that, it now becomes an actual profession where people start respecting it and things like that.
Right.
And you can start moving forward as like normal human life. Because that's the one thing we don't talk about as streamers is even if we have high income, it's not stable income. It's not something that we can report as an actual income because it's all contracted work, basically. It's all royalties. It's all that kind of thing. So there is no actual payment that comes through.
Yeah. I mean, Gun Mathor says hi, by the way.
Yes. Gund, what's going on? And Miss J. Miss J has been talking over here
on Twitch?
On YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, on YouTube.
Yep.
Hi, Miss J. There she is.
Yep.
Over here on the Twitch side or on the Mixer side. Yeah. So like here, so here's some of the things that I'll tell you. One thing I'm already gonna miss is this right here. Check this out. Look at how many emotes I have. Oh, I miss having so many emotes.
Oh man.
And that's not even all my emotes, dude. That's like the ones I had on Mixer. I've got 15 to 20 more I have.
I got 3.
Oh, I also had, I can't use them in yours, but custom sparks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So awesome, man. Like for your channel.
Yep.
And custom embers and stuff. Man, it was great. It was good stuff.
Yeah, so that's the thing is Mixer had a lot of great things going. So that's what I'm really hopeful for. So that's what I really want to talk about as well is my issues with Facebook personally are the fact that they do not protect identity at all. Like they keep claiming they've made moves for it, and I mean, again, back to what Nas was saying, like, hope this does not career ending on that side of it, but so be it if they decide not to. Even if you have your profile set up and everything, let's say you make a fake profile for it. If someone reports you for that and you can't prove that identity, your account's gone. Right then, even if you're partnered in it, your account's gone at that point. So that's number one. Number two, if you have family and friends watching you from their actual account and someone goes and checks them out and they see any tagged photos or anything of that of you, they can find out your identity very easily that way. Now, I'm not saying on the internet people can't find out your identity, but Facebook's made it way too easy for that stuff to happen, and they don't respect anonymity at all.
Now, I hope I'm not breaking any bad NDAs, but it's on your channel, so I don't care.
Go ahead.
No, we were in the meeting with Facebook today, and that was actually one of the big concerns brought forward by a lot of the Mixer people. Were like, hey man, like no one can have a handle.
Yeah.
And they said they're looking into it.
Yeah. So that's what I guess I'm hoping for is with the move of everything, I hope they integrate some of the great things from this platform into Facebook gaming, because I said it earlier, that Facebook gaming in its current state looks like Windows 98 threw up on a basic chat client. Like it's bad.
Yep. Yeah, I understand the Facebook thing to a degree. I hear a lot of people say that like they specifically like Facebook is something that they they can't support. They don't like Mark Zuckerberg, and they don't like how the company's ran.
See, I don't even care about that. Like, that's...
I am so jaded. I think it don't matter if it's Bezos. I don't care if it's whoever's running Microsoft at this point or Zuckerberg. I think they're all corrupt. Whoever's running Google right now or ABC, like or Alphabet or whatever it's called. I don't.
Yeah, every
trust any of them.
platform has its issues, and there's more than meets the eye. So I'll give you one example of that. I've talked to him on LinkedIn and everything like that a little bit. I don't know the full behind the scenes of it, but the guy that headed up the partnerships and everything at Facebook Gaming just left a month ago, right before all this happened, to go to Wormhole Labs. That, to me, raises a gigantic red flag about Facebook in general.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to leave something that's about to fucking blow up if you think something's about to blow up.
Yeah. So, and his response publicly was essentially because I asked him the question, he said that's a great question, and said that essentially he left because he took it to where it was at its normal growth, it was doing its thing. So basically, in his eyes, he took it to its peak, and it was time for him to move to something else to grow it because that's what he enjoys doing.
Yeah, he's a like the solution architect and implementer. He doesn't like to like do the maintenance, right? He wants to just get it set up, and I get it. I think I have similar love for that as well. The building aspect is fun. I think the maintaining part is not the fun part. So,
right.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, that could be very well true. I mean, so Gun, like, I don't know you. I mean, so I'm just gonna give you my opinion. I actually think that Facebook, in a lot of ways, when it comes to streaming, is actually about 4 years ahead of everybody else, including Twitch, when it comes to like their analytics and demographic information that they're willing to provide.
Yeah.
And like the way that they help you as a business is beyond light years ahead of other streaming platforms. So like as a stream, it's like I know and understand my content and my audience on Facebook better than anything, including Twitch, where I streamed for several years, and Mixer, where I've streamed for several years. Like, and I've only streamed on Facebook about 15 times. So that to me is crazy that 15 times I have like their view times, their interests, what other games they like watching, you know, who my demographic is from age standpoint, geographic standpoint. Like, it's phenomenal.
That's what we were talking about earlier, though, too, is Twitch traditionally has promoted people within Twitch that are streamers already, that understand the industry, that do things. They have people that work in adjacent companies that were former streamers that are now community managers for these gaming companies. Facebook has people with degrees, so they have strong analytics, they have great things going for it, but I think they're still out of touch a bit with the industry itself.
Yeah, no, that's probably pretty true. And I mean, you can look at their site and kind of see that in a way, right?
Yeah.
So like,
because it looks like a PowerPoint presentation when you're trying to load a stream.
Yeah, so like not only that, but I mean even just like the landing page, right? Like if you go to Facebook GG,
yeah,
it's like, you know, after you close the banner, you know, I'm looking here and it shows me like live streams, but it doesn't. And then there's like popular games, but you would think that they would be algorithmically recommending stuff to me on this already on this landing page, but they aren't doing that. But they are,
and there's no rhyme or reason for it,
right? But like, for instance, like why is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas at the top? Should
right.
be Grand Theft Auto 5. Then
well,
frames up there, and
I jokingly was talking about it. Have you ever seen the algorithms for like Pandora Project, the music platform?
A little bit.
Where if you read a song, it's like, we suggested this because light hip hop vibes. With I feel like that's what Facebook does, is like, you liked this thing 3 years ago and kind of did this and responded to one person's post, so we put Grand Theft Auto on there for you.
Right.
Like,
or you like some company that, you know, makes merch for Grand, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but what they don't realize is in the industry. So one thing that I've liked is the chair company that sponsors me on Twitch, which I don't know why my stuff is hanging here. Oh, look at this. It's my Mixer partner hoodie. Uh, so the chair company, I've liked their stuff on Facebook. So now I just get ads for gaming chairs nonstop. And I'm like, guys, just because I like this doesn't mean I want to see it every day. And it probably means that I like that company stuff and I may have bought one from them. So why are you showing me different company stuff? And yeah, their algorithms are very like Google ad related. And this is not to talk negative about Facebook. It's really like these are the things that Facebook needs to really get under control if they want to compete with the industry, because that's where the lack of trust comes from the streamers, because we see through these things.
So one of the things that's interesting is there's like an actual like built-in baked-in agreement with this partnership to like take Mixer partners into Facebook, right? Like they're going to be partners on the other platform. Like I have the opportunity, and I'm looking at the NDA right now and I'm reading it. And
so my question for you real quick, sorry to interject, I just let you answer because I haven't read it fully. So I know Facebook for their partnership requires you to stream X amount of time to sustain partnership. Mixer does not. You still retain partnership, but you're either active or inactive. Are they leaving partner status for anyone even if you're inactive?
That I don't know. And I'm still having to like kind of learn and ask those questions and stuff, but for me, I'm gonna read the NDA and like really read it, because like of all NDAs, Facebook would probably scare the shit out of me more than anybody when it comes to an NDA.
Yeah.
But usually non-disclosure agreements, like it's a non-disclosure agreement. Like you're basically just saying like, hey, I won't disclose this stuff. It's not like the partnership agreement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just me saying like, I'm gonna shut my mouth about trade secrets and shit.
Yeah, it's not exclusive things. It's not signing rights away. It's not. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but what I was saying is like, so Facebook, like I have this like instant path to partnership with them. But with YouTube, I saw something today where someone said that they also are doing something similar, I think, to catch the fallout. And I think if I had to choose between one of two platforms to like do that gamble on of like transitioning my community, I think I'd probably go with YouTube.
Yeah, and that's a tough call.
Playing DMCA music, it is a tough call.
Because YouTube, it's hard to get initial growth, but once you find the growth catalyst, it's there. It's a lot harder to keep your monetization because of strikes that happen very easily. Whereas YouTube's like high risk, high reward potential because it may grow. This may be an awesome thing for it. YouTube's a little more stagnated in the industry at the moment. But yeah, I mean, that's a tough call. I guess it's really what you want to get out of your content. I can say that all the middle-aged soccer moms, like my mother, you know, being a little bit in that older community, when I mentioned it to her, she's like, so you're saying you're going to do stuff on the Facebook then? And she was super excited about it. But it doesn't mean I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just... It's been a really weird day. I mean, the last thing I expected to happen today was Mixer to announce they were shutting their doors. Now, don't get me wrong, like people like myself and Kevin from Rare Drop have been saying for the past like 3 months that Mixer wasn't going to make it the rest of the year. So like we were calling that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's been said about Twitch 2 years ago. That's been said about YouTube when Twitch pushed up majorly.
Yeah, but Twitch is still growing. You know what I mean? Like they're still getting stuff done.
Yeah, but I mean, even though they're hitting peak numbers and everything, like they actually have seen drops for a quarter at a time for the first time ever since the inception of the platform.
That's true. I just like, I guess it's because of the fact that I had the inside partnership knowledge and I knew what was going on and I knew some staff and I knew some of the stuff that was going, like being rumored about, you know. I think that like And then for Kevin, I can't speak on his behalf, right? Because like stuff that he might say might break some NDA that someone might get pissed about.
Right.
But Kevin supposedly had some meeting 4 or 5 months before his partnership negotiation came up. And it was so like boot shakingly scary and stupid to him. Like he saw failure there. Like he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And so when his contract came up for negotiation, it was basically a no-brainer to go back to Twitch.
Right.
So
Well,
he had the insight.
Well, that's the thing is like I understand the larger partners that stayed on the platform. I don't understand the mass amounts of small streamers when the average viewership on the entire platform was what, 2.3
Yep.
last time I looked? 2.3 average viewers per channel. Whereas
it's also being generous, remember, because if you take
some inflated viewership from Xbox and from other things.
I just think if you sit there and you say that there's 22,000 streams up and there's 50,000 viewers, right? And it gives you a viewer to streamer ratio of 2 to 1.
Yeah.
It's really not, because 25,000 of those or 20,000 of those viewers are one of the streamers themselves. So you have to take the number of streams out of your total viewership before doing your viewership ratio. So if there's 20 to 50, right, you need to take that number down to 30,000 viewers for every 20,000 streams. So
yeah,
it was lower than that. And I mean, and to have that kind of it wasn't like that when I was on Mixer, right? Like when I first started and was pushing for partnership, the ratio was way higher. It was like 7 or 10 to 1.
Well, that's the thing. When I first created content on there, it was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I bring up is like the writing was on the wall because Facebook has moved up to like 11 itself. I know that a big portion of that, though, they've already been busted once for popping the things through in their scrolling ads and things like that. So that was one that their advertisers actually pushed for lawsuits years ago on. And then if you look at a lot of the stats on Facebook.gg, most of your views are under like 3 seconds and things like that. So it's literally people scrolling a timeline that happen to see your stuff. So a lot of the views that come up on there, they're not actually showing like real viewers. So you have to cut that number almost in half on Facebook. Whereas Twitch has dropped, it's come back up. It's anywhere from like 23 to 27 average viewers, which not concerning, but 4 years ago it was 50. Maybe 5 years ago now, it was 50 average viewers. But that's because the industry is a little more saturated. There's a lot more people streaming. You can stream easily from mobile. There's more accessible tools, so more people can do it easily. So there's a lot of things that have made it easier for people to push live that aren't necessarily streaming for the sake of streaming. They're streaming as a hobby. They're streaming to show these things. So they're not pushing for any kind of viewership. And then YouTube has always had just a huge beefy number. I think the lowest I've seen it is 47 average viewers per channel, but it's way scaled to the top people on live channels when you look at that. And I know we've talked about that before as well, as YouTube has always treated it as like even live, it's still considered video. So their focus is always the video thing. It's a little disconnect from an actual engaging community. So if someone really wants to have an engaging community that's going to respond to them, be there every day, I would say Facebook would probably be a better option in that point. If they're content being in that 3 to 10 average viewers and want just that community to hang out with them, go to Facebook. If you want growth and you want to find more people, meet new gamers, YouTube, or Twitch, either one.
Right.
So it's what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm gonna make this about me for a minute.
Do it.
It really sucked to basically, when I first announced that I was coming back to Twitch permanently, to have so many people be like, well, I'm not gonna go over there. I'm on Mixer, man. I'm on Mixer, dude. Twitch isn't the place to go. Mixer's with a future. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm not saying this because I want you to come and watch me on Twitch. I'm saying this because I want you to not waste your time and effort. And people kept saying it, and now those same people are all of a sudden acting like we're buddies. And that bums me out because it's like, dude, you totally like shit all over me, my intelligence level. You didn't want to support me in the move, and now you're all like, hey man, it's really eye-opening to the industry as well about how much like people's intent is to basically use you.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give two sides to that. So on the smaller scale, someone that I watched on Twitch, met at TwitchCon, I went and watched her. She had moved to Mixer. Still streams occasionally on Twitch. Partnered on both. Done. She was saying goodbyes to her community basically and explaining everything and like in her own tone today. And I watched a bulk of her community say, we're going to miss you. Not, hey, we're going to support you wherever you go, or hey, that sucks. I don't really go on that platform, but I'll make an account just so that I can pop in occasionally. Something. They literally were just like, peace. And that's something that Nos and I were talking about earlier. That it really comes to light that, like, on the larger scale now, I think Ninja thought that he had more of a clout following that would just chase him over to Mixer, and it would be like, we're here for the streamer, because so many people say we're here for the streamer, but when it really comes down to like, hey, this is what's best for me as a person, I'm going to go over here because I have this awesome offer. They didn't follow over there. Yes, some people followed. I went and followed Ninja, and I'll tell you why. So I could see what the hell was going on, so I could watch the industry, everything like that. And I'm going to say probably 50% of his followers were like, let's see what happens. And it wasn't to watch him. It wasn't for anything of the sort. And I think even he thought that he was going to get more of it. Did he get a great deal? Oh, absolutely. Like he said, it's good. Good on him. I don't care. That's fine. But I think that there was a perception that there would be more following that would move over. And I think it gave a lot of insight into how the actual viewership market responds to things and actually the limits that they're willing to go to, because they will not push past that point. What are your thoughts on that? And then you have like a Miss J that is literally on 2 platforms watching right now.
Miss J is awesome. I think Miss J and I would hang out a lot in person. Dude, my brain's going everywhere right now. I think that, I mean, I don't know, man. And the thing is like, dude, I guess this is what I'm gonna say. I'm not even one of the people like heavily affected by this. The only way I was affected by this was that Mixer was like a plan C fail safe because I was partnered with them. Right? So yeah. Like Mixer is like, there's been a part of me that's always wanted to watch it and stuff like that, just to see if I made the right choice. And I feel a little bit vindicated by the fact that it failed. I mean, I hate to say that because it sounds so petty, but what I'm saying is like, with it failing, like it even has put me into a situation where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do right now.
Right.
And that's crazy to me because like, I mean, it shouldn't cause that kind of a level of ripple.
Well, and I think the other side of it as well, and this is the side that like, there's no measurable for, there's nothing that you can really quantify, is when Shroud and Ninja went over, I think it also gave a lot of distrust from viewers of, I don't know if my streamers will be there tomorrow. And then we had COVID happen and a lot of the mid-tier streamers stopped streaming as well. So there's been a lot of distrust of like, is this thing going to still exist the next day when I'm subbing to these people and I'm here for them and I'm here as part of this community? And it really put a magnifying glass on how much distance there is in that actual relationship. And the viewers want that relationship to be tighter than what the streamers do. And it really put light on what it actually is.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of those things that I actually think that there's a room and an opportunity here for someone to come up with a different monetization path. What I mean by that is like, let's say that there's a directory. I'm just spitballing. No one think that I think that this is a good idea. I'm just spitballing as I'm thinking about it. But like, because of what you just said, right? So there's a directory. We're gonna say whatever game. Let's say Warframe because you play Warframe. And like you're at the top of the directory, right? But there's a decent amount of people streaming it and they're creating content. And let's say if there's 100 viewers in that directory, and you own like 56% of the viewership in that directory. If we were to focus more on, for instance, like the game, right? Then and came up with like a concept of like payment that like all of the money spent in those directories like went towards the person that had the majority. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a goofy idea. I'm just saying that like someone could come up with a new model that helps the consumer because there's different ways to look at this, right? Like there's the lens of thinking about it like me selfishly as a streamer. There's a way to look through this as me through the lens of like as the business, like to make money and like to make sure that you have solid revenue flow throughout the month. And then have also like a view from like the viewer who are basically the ones spending all the money, right?
Yeah, like a complete viewer-centric mentality as well. Yeah.
So like if you had a completely viewer-centric mentality, that should be a concern, right? Like this person is dedicated to Vorticos Line or Vorford Nostalgic or Miss J or whoever it is, right? And that's their reason that they come, right? That's the reason that they visit the site. And so that person leaves, that streamer leaves. What does that mean, right? And like what are their retention strategies and like how are they going to keep those people engaged into the platform so that like when I come on, all of a sudden they can find me when, you know, somebody leaves the platform. And like I really feel like there's an opportunity here for growth in the market. And the biggest thing that scares me though with Mixer being out was Mixer was the one pushing Twitch. Yeah, that was the market, right? The market was basically you had Twitch and they were the king, and Mixer was innovating. They were innovating hard, man. They were working their asses off for a lot of things. And then Twitch kind of felt a thorn in its side when Ninja got taken over, and they're like, all right, I guess we'll go get some development people to work for a month. And then those people blew out a bunch of awesome features that came out within, you know, months of Ninja being acquired.
Right.
And it like pushed them, but now Mixer's gone. It's not like YouTube's innovating.
Yeah, and YouTube really hasn't changed a whole lot. Like I said, they've stagnated a bit. They're comfortable where they are, but they're fine. They're video industry doing exactly what it should be doing. Twitch is kind of the same thing. So they haven't had to innovate in the past year and a half to 2 years. So that's what I was saying. If Facebook can really pull what Mixer was doing well, bring it to the platform, take away people's concerns about anonymity, take away people's concerns about just the way the dashboard looks, the way the stream looks itself, and make it more gamer centric, that could be a big piece of it. And then they have the stars, the things like that. I do like what Twitch does with the watching ads for bits. I think that it could be integrated a little more like how Loots is, where you could use like channel points like Twitch does, where it would pop up a small ad. Because that's one thing I've said. I've been, you know, as partners, we get to say, hey, here's my concerns with the platform. One of the big things is they had talked about launching their ads, and I guess they did already, where it puts you up small screen and then it plays the ad big screen so that it still shows the stream and everything like that. I want to get less and play the ad on small screen and keep my screen exactly where it is. So leave my stuff alone.
They showed that.
Yeah, they did.
The at the TwitchCon like feature update.
And
like,
I think that I think their advertisers went the other way with it because people are watching the screen, so they want the ad to be where people's eye contact is and not up in the top right.
Yeah, I think they do have that opportunity still. I mean, there's chances, but like, you know, once again, that's the crux of the issue, man. It's like, how do they keep this business going? And live content is so different from VOD / pre-recorded content.
Yeah.
Like, I can get sick and not be able to stream for a week. And those people now have a week of no consumption.
Right.
And that week can lead to them not consuming content for a long period of time. So, but on YouTube, so like, do you watch many YouTube shows at all?
Not much. A couple.
So my favorite show is Good Mythical Morning.
Okay,
I
yeah,
watch
I've watched it.
every fucking day. If I don't watch it in a day, like sometimes I'll miss like 3 days. Then I wait until Friday and I binge the whole show. And I don't just watch each day. I watch each day and then the after show that's kind of like a behind the scenes thing. So like I literally watch, 160 hours of content from them. Well, what they did is during COVID, when they were shut down and they effectively couldn't, produce content for the way that they wanted to, like in a set, they did a thing where they recreated the set with like a split screen thing with their cameras. But they also did it where that was only content like 3 days a week, and they filled the other 2 days with a bunch of stuff that they pre-recorded. So they had this backlog and buffer of like content to like fill gaps when they were gone. And if they had never said anything by putting a disclaimer that this was recorded prior to COVID, right?
No one would know.
No one would have known.
Yeah. So,
You
Beth, yeah, you're saying ads to publicize decent looking stream gear. So I guess I'm bringing up the other side of it. They at one point also had, so I'm playing Warframe, underneath of it, if someone bought platinum while I was live, and this used to be a thing on Twitch, then I would get a small cut of that. They took that away. And I think they should have went the other way with it of, why don't they broadcast that stuff on Amazon and work with Amazon? They have the largest platform in the world at their disposal to launch this as this huge thing. And all that they have to say is, hey, by the way, every game now is going to have this ability to give you a 3% cut of any sales made. We are also going to showcase the top 10 streams in a sliding bar on every directory on the Amazon site. So if anyone is searching for this stuff, bam, done. Now you have this option to showcase it. It's embedded. We already know that Twitch can do embeds. You can add those to any site. They could use it themselves. They can showcase streams. It can bring it back to selling on Amazon, which promotes Amazon as a site, and be able to now offer better deals because they're making more quantity of sales than they did before. Like, they have a huge miss right there. Facebook, this is my one thing with Facebook, has nothing to back it other than the fact that it was the largest platform and has 2.4 billion people out of the 8 billion in the world. They don't have anything outside of that, and there's not a younger audience joining the platform. That's something I was talking to Nast about earlier, is they don't have a way to hit this new generation. And it's now the uncool social platform that they're having a struggle of how to get this younger audience. Also, with them coming over, Mixer bringing over to Facebook, Ninja is not signing that as of right now that we know of. And he was the only one that had a young audience that didn't come over from Twitch. So you can bet they're not going to come over from Mixer now to Facebook as well. So they still don't have a young audience.
So here's the one thing I will say that is a little bit harder, I think, for people to comprehend from the Twitch world. Facebook actually does have a very, very large audience, but they're young and not in the United States. They're in other countries. They're not even in, and I'm not talking like Canada. I'm talking about like Brazil, Thailand, Philippines. It's the younger audience is there, right? And so, and also what's really interesting is like in Poland, for instance, like Polish people don't use Twitter. Polish people use Facebook. Like Facebook is the predominantly, including the youth. Like my friends, foreign exchange students, they've had 2 Polish kids, huge Facebook users.
Oh, wow.
So like, and there's also Instagram, right? Which is also owned by Facebook, which is also another interesting thing that they can tie in, right? Like they could start tying it in where like clips are automatically uploaded to your Instagram story every day. I mean, that's
true.
Options.
I didn't think of Instagram with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's options that Facebook can branch out in that direction, but it's still in like the content creation space. It's not, it's not like all your eggs are in one basket where like with you're on Twitch, like you have bits, subs. You used to have game sales, which by the way, game sales was still a thing on Mixer until, they announced, their demise.
Yeah.
So like you could set it up where like if you were playing Apex Legends, like it would show that they could buy like 500 Apex coins or whatever, or
Yeah, but the thing that I was bringing up with Twitch is you didn't even have to turn that on. It was just like it's at the bottom. If you chose to have it on or off, done.
right. But you could also choose to promote something else, is what I'm saying. Like they just gave you the option to promote something else if you wanted.
Yeah.
Um,
And I will say, here's my one big complaint about Twitch/Amazon is the Amazon affiliate, Amazon associate, whichever it's called these days. They have so much opportunity to make that better. That integration is awful. And
yep. I think that when you create your Twitch part, like your affiliate account, they should just automatically create an element to it that's like an affiliate ID or a whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Amazon ID that's just like
Amazon ID, and it's just tied into your Twitch shit, and then they just put the payments over to there.
Yeah, and you can set up your gear that you want to promote. You can any game that you're on, anything like bam, there it is. You get a cut flat percentage done. Make that percentage lower than the actual associate link normally is, even because it's crowdsourced then.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if someone's like, "Hey, what mouse do you use?" And I'm like, "I use this Corsair," and they're like, "Oh yeah," and then I'm like, "Yeah, it's right there," and then it like pops up in chat. Right. Oh, there they go. Then they can click buy, and then I get like 3%. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so much better than.
And I wouldn't even be mad.
Nothing.
Like, okay, cool. You're now an affiliate. You're now a partner, whatever. If they gave like shares of the company as a result, instead of payment, even say we can't give you payment, but we can give you shares at the end of each quarter based on where we sit with these things. Fine. Like, give us stock options. Give it like something to make it an actual industry that's starting to put us in a normal business space.
Yep. I just
For those with the yeah. At least advertising the
something.
affiliate program for their shopping site. Yeah. So that's the other thing too, is I have noticed if you click an Amazon associate link on like an extension, you have to buy that thing. If you click any other thing and come back to that item, it now takes it off that link and you don't get credit for that sale either.
Yep.
So they've made it very, very like, sorry, we didn't see any sales on that because it wasn't through your link. Instead of here, put this code in at checkout, or here's the link, it works site-wide. So
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm just blown away, and I feel bad. Does anyone have any questions? Like, is there any Mixer partners or any Mixer streamers that want any words of wisdom from a Mixer person who's been on Twitch?
Oh, their whole Smile program? Yeah, so that you get better deals than you would from the affiliate stuff as well. I forgot about that.
Oh, hey, look, we're on Channel 1 right now.
Oh, sweet.
Welcome, Channel 1.
Yes, Channel 1.
I hope you guys can hear me.
Welcome on in.
How's everybody doing with this moment? I just want you to know that I feel for all of you. I really do.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to do this today. As I had said, I was planning on streaming daytime. I posted in Discord I was going to go on Twitch earlier in the day, but figured I wanted to be here for everyone because I do really feel for everyone as well, because that's a big bomb to be dropped and a lot of people not knowing what to do. A lot of people that really genuinely care for their communities as well that are really dropping that thing in there. T-Bone, thank you for that.
Yeah, hey T-Bone, how's it going, man? Have you guys all been hopping from streamer to streamer who's been talking about this whole bombshell and stuff, or have you been finding a lot of people that are just kind of ignoring it and still playing games? Like, what have you guys been experiencing?
Yeah. Oh, not much. We've been talking for a little while here about it, but we were talking on a different front of just like, hey, Mixer, Facebook. We were really talking all platforms because we've got a lot of experience between them as well.
Bombshell, I kind of.
Right.
Yeah, you know, so I was a Mixer partner. So I was a mixer partner and like an active, very active mixer partner. And I actually saw this kind of, not this specific situation playing out, but I knew that mixer wasn't, they weren't, they were shaky. And I pulled out about September of last year. And today really bummed me out. And then I start really thinking about it. And I'm a very empathetic person. I start thinking about a lot of people over here. I feel sorry for you guys and girls. I do.
And that is one thing as well, is like, yes, I am a Twitch partner, mixer partner. And it really, so I forgot to bring that up as well. As a week ago, we just had the Warframe partner program dissolve as well. I like didn't even think about that with everything going on. So there's been a lot going on in the industry, a lot. And if you don't follow social media, those things are there as well. So we do have some mixer people we've been talking to as well. Both Nos knows them. I've talked to some people with the local community in Michigan here. So we're looking to have some people still be able to hang out with their communities or with another streaming community as well, because that was a big bomb to drop on people. And I mean, I'll open it up for everyone as well. If you guys are looking for a place to hang out, you're more than welcome to come hang out in the Discord as well. About 2,000 of us, partner Discord. You can chill in there. There's my one plug for the day. And yeah, Equestrian, I forgot about that too, with the Smile program where they're donating it to charities rather than to the actual streamers also through Twitch. Yeah, Donut, thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Lost their mainstream income due to... So Beth said over on YouTube here, people that genuinely lost their jobs, for those that lost their mainstream income due to COVID, bumped up their ability to stream more. Yeah. I mean, that is a rough one. That's exactly it. But that's one big thing we were just talking about as well, is it was bound to happen in the industry for quite some time. And you look at any mainstream business, what is it? 80% of businesses fail. So it's bound to happen.
Yep.
And remember, oh, go ahead.
I just want to let people know this isn't a time to like start talking about politics, so that's why you got deleted, bro. On your tits.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, you might not even see it. I don't know.
Yeah, I got it up.
You know, it's. Oh dear Lord. It's just so much easier to ban people. You know what? It's not like I give a shit anyway, right? Like they can go fuck themselves. So this platform is gone, okay?
Right.
Good Lord. That's one thing I won't miss about this, and I think a lot of Mixer people will agree. I'm tired of people coming into my chat and being like, I'm 12. Can I play with you? I have an Xbox. My mom and dad let me come in here. Please don't swear. What else is there? Hi. Do you remember me? Follows you. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Oh, man.
I won't miss that.
I can't say I ever experienced that heavily.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit earlier as well.
RIP Mixer 2017. Yeah. What are you talking about, man? Mixer's been in a vegetative state for at least a year, so I'm being sassy now.
Yeah, I used to know you when you streamed that one game back in the day. Oh, man.
Oof. But yeah, and it wasn't Mixer events, but it was at most of them happened at PAX events, which Mixer had heavy presences at. And so it was kind of like, I mean, I don't want to get on a rant about that, but
yeah,
good
and
Lord, sex culture at cons is fucked up, man. It's so weird.
Yeah, and that's why when I started seeing all these things surface, I remember being the only male that was traveling with females in like a management industry, seeing all this stuff unfold from like the mid 2000s and everything. And I saw this exact thing happen when people started coming out. More of them did. And it's just something that needed to happen with the industry, because it was, anything that is ran by humans is going to have opportunists that try and take advantage of some situation in some way or another, regardless of what it is.
Yep. And I'm gonna go. Retro Gamers said that they came to Mixer because they found it more enjoyable, and I do think that that's actually pretty true. I think that I actually would argue that Mixer was a relatively toxic environment, and let me explain this. So, one, there was I dealt with more racist language and rhetoric in my Mixer stream in a week than I have the entire time I've been on Twitch. You're right. Shroud Ninja didn't bring anyone new to the platform. So you know why? Because they came to the platform and it sucked dick and it wasn't stable. It wasn't ready. That was the failure.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're preparing the platform for a huge guest to drop in, it's got to be ready for that guest to be there. You know, if you're inviting the Queen of England to your house, like, you're not going to serve her pizza rolls that night. So, I mean, I might, but
I probably would too. I'd be like, fuck it, this is what the plebs eat.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get back to that though. So from the toxicity standpoint, but the other thing here is this is the problem, and I'm serious. Like I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just being open and honest about this. Everybody on this platform is a streamer. Everyone in this chat, if I go through and click each person that is conversing in chat, every single one of you guys stream. There are no viewers. People who just enjoy viewing content on this platform. And what that creates is it's not toxic from like an aggressive standpoint. It's not like people are like coming into your chat all the time, which that's a whole different side of it, but they aren't coming into your chat to like abuse you, right? But like if everyone's a streamer, like the level of support and the things that they're thinking about isn't really about like lifting anyone up. It's more about like where does the connection tie them in, and how can it be, like he just said earlier, how can it be, I don't like the word manipulated, I think it sounds too malicious, but how can it be molded to like be beneficial to me, to behoove me? And so with that always being the case, because the majority of the people in chat are streamers, you know, that creates a problem. Like, and it creates a culture that's more about what do I gain out of this relationship, instead of like, oh, I find this person genuinely cool to be around, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and that was
I think
it.
that
Is
there's
like
a level of toxicity there.
Mixer, yeah, and I'll say it just in a little different term, but the same answer is like Mixer was low key. What can I get at every moment? And that was really it. It wasn't just a matter of there are people there that are literally just genuinely want to be around your community. So that's where I think a lot of people have a little struggle on Twitch, because there's genuine viewers there that only want to consume content. So you have to make more compelling content to attract those viewers, rather than just streamers trying to gain clout. It was a lot of clout chasing on a lot of the platform. Mixer, I mean.
Yeah. And also it created a culture where like every streamer, so like I remember like the last few times I streamed on Mixer, like I was opening up my chat was heavily unengaged, but yet I had 39 people, 40 people in my chat. And I start looking through them, and it's just all these streamers that were basically just opening me up in a tab. And it's like, that's not really help. It's not really support. It's not like you're really being a part of what I'm trying to create. You're just like boosting me up in a directory that's full of other people doing the same thing. In fact, I have 39 viewers. The guy behind me has 38 viewers, and that's because one person knows me and doesn't know him and doesn't have a tab open for him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it was like this false thing.
All over Twitch as well. I mean, there's lurk groups all over. As I said, you're going to find opportunists anytime there's humans involved. Like, that's the reality of it.
But here's the thing. No, time out. I'm gonna take this head on. If you say proportionally, there is no match. Like if you were to take the proportion of the amount of the user base that is lurk based out of the Mixer community versus the Twitch community, it is 15-1 in favor of Twitch. People not being lurkers,
and
like 15-1.
I'll
It's
give you
significantly
statistically
less.
of my 150 average over the last 90 days. I'd say at any given point, only 25 to 30 of them are heavily active streamers, and then maybe 10, 15 that are like thinking about it, or casual streamers that are like, hey, I'm watching to get some info. And outside of that, it's all viewers or lurkers, just straight lurking.
Right. And I'm fine with a viewer being a lurker. See, there's a huge difference there too, and I think that's the other thing. There are people that just want to view to consume. They don't want the interaction. They just want to view to consume. The problem on Mixer is that that person wasn't even viewing your content. They were literally just flipping you up and putting you into a side window so that like you were higher in a directory. Like it's the most false sense of support that's out there. You're not helping that person because if anything, it's a big yikes for me, dog, when I get into a channel and there's 60 people in your chat and one person talks every 7 minutes. That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah. Well, and I can say the other side of it too is I've come into Mixer streams. I consume content on all platforms. I'm going to be very clear about that. When I've went into Mixer streams, there will be 15 people in a channel, and I will listen to 15 to 20 minutes of, hey, this person, they stream, and I was just watching them do this thing, and I was watching this other person do this thing, and I was watching this person do this thing, and they were talking about streamer, and then I leave. Because at that point, as a viewer, I want to consume content, and if all I'm hearing about is what every other person is doing, and then when I go to the next channel, I get to hear about what those same people are doing, and it's just a big circle jerk of I mean, like, that's really what it is. And that's where, as a viewer, that's not compelling content.
Yep. I know Twitch streamers that are like, all they do is sit there and cry because of donos and stuff. And that's not fun either, right? Like there's a lot of type of content that can be, not fun to consume, right? But like, there's just a huge difference in the lurk culture here and how infuriating it was.
And we're saying this as well, like for anyone that is looking to come over to Facebook, to Twitch, to whatever, of like, this is what the difference is. So if you come into these channels talking about streaming, you're going to get banned immediately on Twitch, and that's why these things happen. Whereas someone coming from Mixer, I've had a lot of people that have whispered me coming from Mixer on Twitch, and they're like, why the hell did I get banned? And they get up in arms a little, or they get pissed. They're like, you're an asshole. Reality is, I'm making a viewer-centric environment, so nobody in my chat wants to hear your shit about your stream. Like, nobody cares. Right. And when you shout someone out, it's a show of respect. Like, I shout out my team members. They know that they might get one follow here and there, but people are not going over, by and large, to these things. Channel 1, have a great day. But yeah, that's the biggest thing, is like, it's not happening.
Job search time.
I'm full-time on Twitch, so like just doing that thing, but that's why we're having these discussions. Yeah, guys, absolutely appreciate you being here and hearing this out. Want to be able to openly discuss this stuff. I know a lot of people won't talk openly and be honest about it because they want to walk on eggshells and not actually say what's on their mind, say what's really happening in the industry. And that's what I guess we're here for. And that's why I chose talking to Nostalgic, because I know that he feels the same way.
Yep. Sorry, I was just noticing something. Yeah, it's sad. You're not wrong, Pika Juice. You're not wrong, Just Chris. Mixer killed itself. I think it's more than that. It's not just says that it killed itself.
Yeah.
And I will say, as a partner, they didn't listen. They didn't listen to shit. Like, I can say that now because who cares? What are they gonna do?
Right.
They didn't give a fuck.
Sports, what's going on?
I mean, I can remember countless times that they would survey the community, and the community would come back with, like, and I'm talking about the community of partners, and we'd say something like, let's just say something like, hey, we want bigger emotes. That shit took 3 years to implement. And the emotes are still smaller than Twitch emotes.
Right.
So, like,
all big streams, I don't think all big streams got a fat check. Like, yes, the couple players did, but that's it.
yeah, like the ones that they purchased. That's
Yeah.
it.
And that was because of
And that was
contract.
that was 4 acquisitions. You know what? You know who I'm happy about, or I'm happy for more than anyone on this, is Ewok. Because Ewok got purchased by Mixer, and her viewership plummeted, like down to like 30 or 40 viewers when she had,
Ouch.
you know, a lot on Twitch. And now, you know, she gets her payday and she gets to choose where she gets to go. So that's awesome.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
That's good for her. That's a silver lining.
And that is nice being able to, like, at that point they get that stuff, they can now create content strictly for the sake of, like, we've already got this thing, now we can move on and just create content. Like, done.
I'm gonna drop.
Yeah, you gotta pop out.
Oh, I'm dropping our links in chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you want to check us
So-
out,
We're both on Twitch primarily. I was a Mixer partner. He's a Mixer partner, but we had already started making the transition, and one of us was already on Twitch a lot longer. And oh yeah, probably drop the. Do you have the Discord command? For the Casual
Discord
Nexus?
command? Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, he done got his bot up. Neener.
I don't have my bot up at all.
Long story short, this is gonna be rough. There are opportunities for you to meet new people out of this.
Yeah.
Don't be intimidated by Twitch. I think people are way intimidated by Twitch, but Twitch will recommend a stream for you that'll probably work out. Honestly, just tell them what games you're interested in, and you're gonna be good. You'll find places. You'll land places.
What can you do? Okay, so Beth is asking, what can we do as viewers/streamers to help the Mixer streamers transition to other platforms easier and make them feel welcome amongst our community? It's hard because I know a lot of people tried Twitch, and it's daunting to a lot of people, and that's part of the reason they went to Mixer. But that's where I say find the right community, and if you haven't found that yet, it's not the right community for you. Yes, Twitch is a much bigger platform, but reality is it's something that you can find the right group of people, everything like that. They help out quite a bit.
I mean, like, even in like Destiny, which is a really big game on Twitch, you can find there's about 5 or 6 like larger, like, or smaller subsets of Destiny 2, and then within that there are like 5 subsets, right? So you can find the size and scope that you're looking for. Like, you can go all the way down to like the 10 viewer streamer, all the way up to a network of streamers. And that team, you know, could be consisting of, you know, 25 streamers, or you can go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of opportunity to find your scope and scale. Whereas with Mixer, you were basically pigeonholed into roughly 15 directories, and predominantly on Xbox, and, you know,
yeah, and that's
the
what we were
spread was
talking about
thin.
too, is like, if you do choose to go to Facebook, the discoverability is much lower. So I place it somewhere between like Twitch and YouTube. YouTube has almost no interactive nature. So if you're coming straight from Mixer and go to YouTube, it's going to be a big culture shock because there's nothing there to actually have that interaction with your community outside of just the chat that's going on. Twitch, fully interactive, very much like Mixer. Facebook, it's hard to discover those things in between it. So it just depends on what you want to get out of it. Odds are mean. Yeah, Equestrian, that's a good point as well. If you don't like a streamer, try another. I mean, Equestrian went through about 50 before finding my channel as well. Been around since then. So that's the other thing that you'll find is it might not seem that a streamer has an inviting community, but that's what we were talking about with that low-key toxicity coming from Mixer, where everyone's streamers, so like we all get along because we all like the same thing, but realistically that's not a viewer-centric feel. That's not what it is. That'd be like a bunch of managers sitting in a room, a viewer tries to walk into that same room of all these people, like they don't feel welcomed. That's the reason that it feels different on Twitch. So you have to go into it with a completely viewer mindset of like, I want to consume this content.
It's about the streamer when you're on Twitch. It's not about you.
Yep. And I can say this wholeheartedly. I mean, I'll give a very personal story. One of my mods had been modding for me for 6 months. I did not know he was a streamer for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it came up in general conversation off stream while we were in Discord together. He's like, you know, I kind of took a break and I've been streaming a lot. I mean, he streamed very casually and everything because he had a full-time job and all that. But then after that, it changed everything. And then I gained a ton more loyalty to this person, and he's been around my community since then because of that.
Yep.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I do have to say it is past 11. Does anyone else have any questions or anything like that pertaining
Nope.
to what we're rolling with? Because we had planned on keeping this a fairly short one, but great conversation, everything like that.
Sorry for the yawns.
Yeah. If you guys want to come hang out with the community, that's why we do have to end. Not to completely plug my wife here, but that's where I'll be in just a little bit, and I'll probably be following up with Nost after we end. You guys do want to hang out in just a moment, that's where we'll be. That's why we got to end. We had very limited time. This was very not planned or anything, because I don't think anyone was planning on getting the news about Mixer, but still wanted to be here to have this conversation with everyone. So
We're good on this side, but check that link. Let's go hang out with Twyla.
yeah, she'll be on in probably 10-15 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. You'll be along in a while. All right, sounds good, Equestrian. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out,
And
everybody.
And Nost, yeah, we'll follow up and potentially do a little of this as well with a little more topic behind it.
Yep.
So
Just
awesome.
want to be there for people in case they needed it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys. You guys have a great day. Bye now.